Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. 12 rounds for Usyk's WBO, IBF, and WBA heavyweight titles. Interesting fight, and a fight where I don't think we should write off Daniel Dubois just yet. But let's get into it. Let's start with Oleksandr Usyk. 20 wins, no losses, 13 wins by way of knockout. Now, he's 36 years old now, so we always got to keep the age in mind as these guys are aging in the other way. This is his first fight this year, right? After coming off 2 wins against Anthony Joshua to win 3 straps, right? 1 away from becoming undisputed. Who knows if he will get that final fight. When Usyk came to the heavyweight division, I wasn't too sure what exactly he was going to do, right? I don't question his skill set, his tools, conditioning, none of the intangible things that made him successful as a cruiserweight, right? He's fought quality opposition in that division. Krzysztof Glowacki, Michael Hunter, Thabiso Munchu, Marius Briedis, Murat Gusiev, Tony Bellew. The man has got some good wins on his resume, right? We know he's light on his feet, fluid in movement, has strong ring IQ, can create separation. He's accurate with his spots. He's patient, takes calculated risks, knows when to take a step back if need be. In the heavyweight division, though, any shot at the right time can be the shot that closes out the show. While Usyk has more knockouts than decision wins on his resume, to me, he's a natural boxer to me, right? He comes to box, right? Not to necessarily brawl and get caught in these all-out war type of fights, to hit and to not get hit. He's not a devastating puncher, not devastating power. Doesn't mean you can take him lightly, because we've seen him hurt cats before, right? Now, he probably could outbox the whole division, right? But would that be enough against all of the guys? I don't know. It's tough to say that, right? And how much weight is he going to put on? And when you put on weight, you sacrifice other things, a little speed, a little agility, a little nimbleness, so to speak. Coming into the heavyweight, you just have more questions about how he is going to handle everything as he got up there. I remember one year when I was in college at the University of Alabama, we were lifting like crazy in the gym. And I'm a guy who puts on weight, muscle very quickly. I went from 163 pounds to 173 pounds. I was explosive, yes. I was powerful, yes, but only to a certain distance, right? I had a hard time distributing my energy output to run the times I needed to run, especially in the NCAA as a Division I athlete. So again, Usyk coming up to the heavyweight division, this is a guy who hasn't entered a fight weighing over 230 pounds, right? So he's giving up a lot of weight as he's fighting in this division. In his first fight, he fought Chaz Witherspoon, who was older but bigger. And Usyk got the win. The corner stopped the fight, but Usyk got caught with some clean, flush counters, right? And got hit with some big shots of his own. If Witherspoon maybe came in better shape and maybe had a little bit more power and maybe just a little bit, couple of years younger, man, those shots probably would have wobbled Usyk a little bit more. But the pressure and the movement and the timing was just too much for Witherspoon at that time. But Usyk did have a little bit of trouble in this fight. After that, he fought Derek Chisora in a fight where the size was extremely noticeable. Derek was the bigger man by far. I mean, Chisora came to fight. He brought the pressure early on, and it wasn't really looking too great for Usyk. He got caught with some big shots, and the physicality of Chisora didn't give Usyk any room to maneuver. And it was tough for him to create separation because the bigger man was always right there in front of you. Whether he hit you or not, he was putting that weight and that size on you, right? I thought Chisora had a good plan because Chisora usually tires out as the fight goes on. But I thought for the first 6 rounds, man, it was a tough, grueling fight. But one of the strengths that Usyk has, man, is he's never going to panic, right? He's always going to keep moving. Always seems like he is poised, right? Whether he is in control or whether he lost a little bit of control. But when it comes to pressure, man, he's just calm and he's poised and he knows how to maneuver even when his back is against the wall. And that's something that you have to admire about a guy like him, right? He's going to keep moving. He's not going to be stagnant. He's going to move and punch. Even if they aren't big shots, he's going to hit you with something to keep things honest, right? And that's what he did in that fight. And if his footwork and awareness weren't as good as it was, he might have gotten stopped that night because Chisora wasn't playing around that night, man. As the fight went on, Chisora did start to slow down and Usyk started to let his hands go a little bit more. And he did have Chisora hurt in that 7th round of the fight, but a nice fight after his introduction into the heavyweight division for Oleksandr Usyk. In his most recent 2 fights, he fought Anthony Joshua 2 times. It looked both fights looked very similar. Usyk has tricky ways of landing his shots. He has a free-flowing jab that he pushes through in his fights, man. When he does let his hands go, he puts together good combinations. He can loop his shots in from different angles, and he's going to find different ways to get to you, man. This guy has great feet, right? If you can't cut off the ring against Usyk, it's going to be tough for you to slow him down because he doesn't sit still. Joshua was very hesitant in the first fight. In the second fight, he was a little bit more aggressive and landed some good punches on Usyk when he was using his physicality and was bringing the pressure, right? Which goes to show you that Usyk, man, he can take a shot. Right? If you look at both of the fights, Usyk was touched up, right? He didn't get through that fight unscathed. Both fight, the man, when AJ landed, he definitely felt it. And AJ's a guy, whether you like him or not, man, he has power in both hands. In the second fight, his best fight was that 9th round, but Usyk's movement, conditioning, and consistency are tough to break down, especially if you can't cut off the ring and then start going to the body. Usyk is also one of those guys, man, where if you can't slow him down, he is not going to let you hit him consistently. He doesn't allow his opponents to really build on a lot of their work, right? You let off a punch or two and you look to follow it up and you can't because he's moved out, around, or beside you. Right? Stylistically, just wasn't a good matchup for AJ because AJ is not the best mover inside of the ring. If he was more aggressive and I thought went towards his physicality and his brute strength instead of trying to outbox the more superior boxer, I thought he would have had a better chance of winning that fight and maybe even have stopped Usyk, man. This is a different version of AJ. AJ is not the same guy as he was when he lost to Andy Ruiz. He's a little bit more hesitant and just a little bit more cautious in his movement. He's wanting to box cats, right? And that's not really his strength to me, in my opinion. So, I thought he fought a hesitant Anthony Joshua. Usyk nonetheless came out, did what he had to do, and controlled the fight from the first fight to the second fight, right? So after 3 fights in the heavyweight division, man, I think Usyk has settled in now. But at the same time, this is not a guy who cannot be beat. You just got to be able to put things together at the right time. But let's talk about his opponent, Daniel Dubois. 19 wins, 1 loss, 18 wins by way of knockout. Dubois is interesting to me because sometimes you're just not sure what you're going to get. Sometimes you get to see the full package, like when he fought Nathan Gorman. Beautiful jab, confident, strong, big, heavy, powerful punches, good, powerful combinations, and a guy who can close out the show at any given moment. And even when he fought Joe Joyce, I thought he fought a good fight. Those shots that he landed against Joe Joyce and landed on Joe Joyce, that would have taken out most of the guys in the heavyweight division. He was beating Joe Joyce to the punches, mixing his attacks. But I think 2 things happened. Defensively, he wasn't moving his head and he was getting clipped. With Joyce's heavy hands, man, as the fight went on, I wonder if he kind of punched himself out because he looked tired, whereas Joyce was just consistent as he kind of always is. The other thing is, I think he got a little discouraged. I think he got in his own head. The man threw his best shots at Joe Joyce, and Joyce walked through it all. That's a tough pill to swallow. When you're letting your hands go and hitting a cat with everything that you got, and you're like, yo, I've done this against other opponents. And when I've done this against other opponents, they didn't get up. But Joe Joyce just kept coming forward. Mentally, that affects you, man. I don't know the full extent of it. I'm just giving you a perception of what I think, just based on my experience, especially in that, elite sport mindset. And I think that did hurt his confidence a little. right? Moving forward, his next 3 fights after that were supposed to be a little less challenging, and he was able to get past all of those guys within 4 rounds. And then he goes to face Kevin Lerena, the former IBO cruiserweight champion, a guy who, if you didn't know him, didn't jump off the charts, right? Not really a big name, does have some good skills. The man can crack, but not a guy that's going to jump off the charts and say, you know what, whoa, this is a guy that I have to see. But a guy who can fight, a guy who has pop. And in the first round, Daniel Dubois got hit on the top of the head with a shot from Lerena that completely took him out. I mean, it completely took us out with our words, because we were so trying to figure out, what just happened? Dubois went down, right? The man, his equilibrium was all out of whack after he got hit with that first shot and he got knocked down. The second knockdown, he went down on his own. The third knockdown, he went down on his own. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on? Like, is he hurt? Is he recovered? Why is he fighting like this? Right? We didn't really know what the heck was going on. Yeah, we know he got clipped, but when you go down on your own twice, it just makes you question, is he healthy? Is he in his own head? Like, what is going on? We didn't expect something like that to happen to Daniel Dubois against a guy like Kevin Lerena. And I also think Lerena came into the fight with a different game plan, right? He came into the fight to take the fight to Daniel Dubois. And I thought after the first round, he kind of backed off and stopped pressing. That was the time when he needed to continue pressing, continue pushing, because he had him hurt. In the third round, everything changed when Lerena got dropped with a straight hand, and then he found himself stuck on the ropes, and Dubois let off an onslaught, a variety of shots that ended up closing out the show. Man, the uppercuts he put through in that fight were beautifully timed. That's the type of stuff that Dubois can do, man, when he's confident and he's feeling good, man. I mean, the man is a specimen, and he's a very skilled specimen as well, too. I mean, Dubois got the win, but that was just a interesting finish to the fight, because the ref stopped the fight when the bell rang. So I'm thinking to myself, man, you could have at least let the man regroup, go back to his corner and regroup, and then give him another shot to prove himself, to prove that he's still in the fight. But, stranger things have happened in boxing. Nonetheless, Dubois got the win, and here we are. But a fight that raised more questions than answers to a lot of people. So who wins? I know a lot of people are not expecting Daniel Dubois to win the fight. I've spoken to a bunch of different people, and they think Daniel Dubois is going to get stopped. And that's definitely a possibility. It could happen. But I give Daniel Dubois a nice shot to win this fight. I think the question is, which Daniel Dubois are we going to get? Are we going to get the version of a guy who many at one point considered to be the next top heavyweight champion in the world, right? Or are we going to get the version who fought Kevin Lerena, who didn't look right, who seemed like he was thinking too much in his own head? Like, which one are we going to get? I think he has the skills and the tools to beat Oleksandr Usyk, but can he bring it out on the night? Usyk is only going to get more and more comfortable the more fights he gets in the division. He's confident, he's skilled, and you know what he's going to do inside the ring, man. And if you can't slow him down, if Dubois can't cut off the ring, Usyk's going to move and dance all over him and hit him from different shots. And it's going to be very frustrating for Daniel Dubois, and it might just break him down mentally before it breaks him down physically. Usyk is very consistent. Right? He knows how to control the fight, knows how to pace himself in the fight. This guy operates at a very elite high level, especially if you're trying to outthink him and outbox him. Dubois has to use that physicality on him, right? You have to be able to anticipate where he is going to be and meet him there. But you can't go into it and trying to outthink a boxer like Oleksandr Usyk. I'm not really sold on Dubois' chin, man. I think if he gets touched up enough on the chin, who knows what could happen. But Usyk also knows that Dubois can crack, so he's going to respect his power, and that might not make him take as much risks that he would like to unless he sees him hurt. But if Dubois can fight smartly, cut off the ring, bring calculated pressure, he could surprise Usyk. He has the tools to solve the puzzle, in my opinion, but I don't think he'll be able to do it on the night. I think this fight goes the distance, and I think Usyk wins by decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. We got a membership section going on the channel. I don't always get to do all of the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below, but if you become a member, those suggested videos rise to the top, and I will do my best to get those done for you. Or if you would like to become a member just to support the channel, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated as well. Shout out to everybody that continues to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each of you. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.